This break is brought to you by Netflix. Head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV to sign up for a free 30-day trial. The Secret World launched just 3 short days ago on Tuesday, and we all know that 3 days is just not enough time to give an MMO a proper review. So what we're going to do here over on GameBreaker TV is give you a series of reviews as we progress through the game and give you our thoughts. So with us to give this review is GameBreaker writer Jason Winter. Now, Jason, let's start off with a kind of high-level question here. Overall, since the game's launch, how has your experience been?
It's been pretty good. I've really enjoyed myself. Found myself playing it a lot more than I thought I would, and being more interested in general. The atmosphere is excellent. The setting, the way they do the cutscenes, the voice acting, they're very good. I actually think the cutscenes are better than Old Republic's, which...
Wow, that's a pretty big statement.
Yeah, it really is. I really think they did a great job with their framing, with their voice work. And really, if you played Age of Conan, played through the stuff in Tortage, it shouldn't be that surprised. You know Funcom's capable of delivering something on this level. I wasn't as into the modern-day conspiracy theory stuff as much as certain people who like Ancient Aliens in the office, whoever that would be.
Other people within earshot who can't voice their opinion
people,
right now.
Yeah. So I really didn't follow it that closely. I wasn't that into it. So I went with kind of a fresh look at it. But I really have found myself drawn into it, and I think Funcom's done a great job of making it available and interesting, even to people who, are more interested. Frankly, I'm a lot more interested in the fantasy type of genre than I am in the modern day stuff.
Now, what about the questing experience? Because the investigation kind of puzzle style element of questing has been touted as a really big deal and a big draw for the Secret World, almost as if that's what the fans who are going to enjoy it are going to play the game for. So how would you say that the questing experience is stacked up for you?
Well, there is still quite a bit of, go out, blast zombies, get stuff, bring it back kind of quest. But you do run into a few quests that are more about figuring stuff out and taking more of a non-combat approach to that sort of thing. I like those in single-player games. And for the most part, having soloed, I can kind of go at it at my own pace. But I'm a little skeptical as how it's going to work out in a multiplayer game and when you have a group together, because you can't just move at your own pace. You kind of have to keep up with the rest of the group, and taking the time to figure out a riddle isn't necessarily going to work when you've got other people who want to just move on with it. I mean, last night, as an example, Gary and I were actually doing a little stuff together, and he wanted me to get to tier 3 of this one investigation mission, and I just got stuck on tier 2, and I sat there for like an hour trying to figure it out. He was busy off doing his other things, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but the only way to progress past that and to catch up with him would have been to either ask him for help or go look it up online, that sort of thing. It's fine if you can work out at your own pace, or if it's relatively easy to the point where you can get through it, but I can see some issues with there, and I do wonder about the replay value. Like, on my second character through, I'm not going to have to figure this stuff out. I'm going to already know it, so...
Well,
it's a nice idea.
I do know that their stress is with the level design and the class design, alts aren't necessarily their focus, but I think you're definitely onto something there, because it's kind of like Angry Bird syndrome. When you're sitting there trying to learn how to 3-star level and you just don't understand the puzzle to it, you go check YouTube and then you just have to sit there for the next 5 hours trying to get that exact shot. But it takes all the puzzle away out of it, and it kind of that element of once the solutions are there, people are really going to have to fight the temptation just to get the answers.
Yeah, I think that's why we haven't seen this sort of approach very often in MMO. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, but I think when I group together, I'm going to primarily try to group for the combat stuff, the stuff where you actually want to have multiple people blowing stuff up.
All right, so
it's a great approach for single player, but yeah.
Speaking of the combat, though, because atmosphere and cool quests are all really good. I love this game because it really kind of feels Silent Hill-esque to me, and it looks like it's got a lot of a good draw for players like that. But combat is such a big and important part of MMOs, and that's been probably one of the biggest complaints across the board. So how is the Secret World's combat stacking up for you?
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I actually was a little intimidated by it. I was a little afraid of it because I had a little demo at GDC, and I didn't really come away that impressed with it. But I think you don't necessarily go into it with the notion it's going to be some hugely innovative, action combat, whether you like, whatever, Terra, Guild Wars 2, whatever you like. It's not like that. It's not on that level, certainly. But I think the strength of the combat system is the deck building, the fact of making your own builds and so on, and trying to experiment with different ways of having your skills stack up, different rotations and so on. I think that's where it's really going to stand out. I don't necessarily think it's going to be in the actual aspect of the combat itself, even though it's solid. I haven't noticed anything really that I just go, oh my god, this is awful. So I think it's fine for what it's doing and for everything else the game has. I haven't been finding it to be a real hang-up to have it impede my enjoyment of the game so far.
Has the sound design improved at all? That was another big complaint of people kind of feeling that their guns didn't really carry a lot of weight behind their shots. Have they improved that at all, or is it still kind of feel dinky?
I think it's fine. I play with my volume turned up, and my shotgun goes. That's my impression. That's my attempt to be a sound designer. But no, I really do like at least the sound of my guns. I think works fine.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. 3 days worth of our opinion and review of The Secret World. Keep checking back here as the game continues to be out, and we will keep giving you updates on our review straight from the word of Jason Winter. Be sure to catch our This Week in MMO show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PDT, where we occasionally talk about The Secret World. Jason, thanks so much for the information, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.